This is the Spatial Media Expert Series presented by Skyrim.ai. In this episode, we discuss how the collapse of the regional sports networks have disrupted the production and distribution of the sports media industry.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are diving deep into, well, a seismic shift happening right now in local sports broadcasting.
Yeah, we've got quite a stack of sources here, and they really detail the dramatic collapse of the traditional regional sports network model. I mean, these were once multi-billion-dollar businesses.
That's absolutely right. We're looking at how massive changes, things like cord cutting combined with just unsustainable costs have led to what some are calling the RSN reckoning.
And reckoning feels like the right word, doesn't it? Sources show these RSN businesses, valued around $20 billion as recently as 2018, have basically crashed down to maybe $600 million by 2024.
It's stunning.
That's a 97% drop in just 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of financial collapse for a whole industry sector, it's almost unheard of unless you're talking about a major market crash. But look, this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's fundamentally changing how you, the fan, can actually watch your local teams.
The old way, it's failing, plain and simple. And it's forcing teams, and the leagues too, to find entirely new ways to reach their audience.
Okay, so our mission in this deep dive, let's try to unpack these sources, understand why the RSN model fell apart so quickly, how teams are sort of ditching that old cable partnership for direct-to-consumer streaming, and what this, well, kind of chaotic transition means for the future of watching sports. So maybe let's start with how we got here. Why did this RSN model fall apart?
Right. So the sources tell us, the 2000s and maybe the early 2010s, that was really the cash cow era for these regional sports networks, the RSNs. They were incredibly profitable.
Yeah, and the reason they were so lucrative, as I understand it, is they were often bundled into those big cable packages, right? Millions of people paid for these channels every month, whether they even watched the local team or not.
Exactly. That built this huge, really stable revenue stream.
Yeah.
But the core driver of the collapse, it's undeniable. And that's something, you probably experienced yourself, cord cutting. Millions of households are canceling cable, canceling satellite TV every single year.
And that trend just directly guts the subscriber base the RSNs were relying on. So you combine that drop in paying customers with the incredibly high costs of the rights fee.
Yeah, the huge amounts they paid teams.
Right. The money the RSNs paid teams for exclusive broadcast access, and suddenly the whole model just becomes completely unsustainable.
And we've seen major RSN operators struggling mightily or, just getting out entirely. Diamond Sports Group, they run most of the Bally Sports networks, filed for bankruptcy 2023.
Wow.
With a staggering $8 billion of debt. I mean, few people saw a fall that severe coming just a few years earlier.
No kidding.
Warner Bros. Discovery, that's another big player. They just exited the RSN business completely.
And that plummeting valuation we mentioned up front, it really shows the speed of this thing unraveling, doesn't it? Those former Fox RSNs fetching maybe $20 billion in 2018, estimated to be worth only about $600 million by 2024. A 97% drop. That's just a stark indicator of how fast the ground shifted.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, under this old system, teams certainly enjoyed that guaranteed money, often massive rights fee checks. It looked great on their balance sheets for sure.
Right.
But, and this is the key thing, they were reaching fewer and fewer of their own fans each year. Why? Because the total pay TV audience, the cable audience, was shrinking. Like 10-12% annually. Your potential audience was literally disappearing.
Through cord cutting.
Exactly.
Really?
Cord cutting.
And the downside of that old model is now painfully clear, isn't it? It's not just that you're reaching a smaller pool of fans through cable, but you're also tied to these increasingly unstable broadcast partners, like a bankrupt Diamond Sports.
Yeah, the Diamond bankruptcy really brought this whole reckoning to a head. I mean, with their equity value plummeting, Diamond just started skipping rights fee payments to teams. That started in March 2023.
Which is exactly what happened with the San Diego Padres, right? Bally missed a payment, and Major League Baseball took this, unprecedented step. They just stepped in and took over the broadcasts themselves.
Directly. And what's fascinating there, reading the sources, is how MLB used that crisis. They saw it as an opportunity. Their media chief, Noah Garden, basically said they used the Padres' takeover to, and I'm quoting here, remove blackouts on local games and expand the reach by more than 2 million homes.
Wow. So the league itself recognized the old model wasn't just financially unstable, it was actually limiting their audience reach.
Precisely. They saw the handcuffs, basically.
Okay, so If the RSNs are crumbling, and in some cases just failing outright, how are teams even getting their games to fans now? What's the alternative?
That's the million-dollar question, maybe the billion-dollar question. Since about 2023, we've seen this wave of teams, initially led by NBA and NHL teams, deciding they just can't wait around anymore. They're taking control, taking back control of their local game distribution.
And their new strategy often seems to be this kind of hybrid approach, like pairing free broadcasts, you mean over-the-air TV, like with an antenna.
Exactly. Over-the-air, free TV. Pairing that with their own direct-to-consumer or DTC streaming services, the kinds you subscribe to directly.
Okay.
Now, this is often framed as a fan's first move. And maybe it is, but it's also a huge strategic pivot. The sources acknowledge it can mean sacrificing some of that big short-term revenue teams got from those RSN deals.
Guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money, yeah. But they're betting on the long-term value, wider reach, building a direct relationship with their fans. That's the gamble.
And we see this playing out in some really interesting case studies from the sources, right? Like the Phoenix Suns in the NBA.
Yeah, the Suns are a great example. In 2023, they walked away from Bally Sports, struck a deal with Gray Television, and the core of that deal, airing all their games free over the air across Arizona.
All games free. That's huge.
It's huge. And that single move, according to the sources, instantly tripled the number of homes that could access Suns games. They went from around 800,000 under the old RSN setup to potentially 2.8 million with free TV.
Just like that.
Just like that. And then, on top of that, they launched Suns Live, their own DTC app, through a tech partner called Kissway, for local fans who prefer streaming.
Okay, so how much does that cost?
It's priced at $14.99 a month, or about $110 for the year. And their owner, Matt Ishbia, he was really clear about the strategy. He said he's prioritizing reach, building the fan base, believing that the revenue, it'll follow that audience growth eventually.
Interesting bet. What about other teams? The Vegas Golden Knights.
Similar story in Vegas. NHL, their RSN partner, shut down. So what do? They pivoted to free TV too. Signed a deal with Scripps. Games are free on a local channel, Vegas 34, for people in Nevada.
Okay, free TV again? Did they add streaming too?
They did. They launched Nighttime Plus, their DTC app, and they priced it really affordably, $69.99 for the whole season. Or, get this, $6.99 for a single game.
Paper game. Okay.
Yeah. And the team president, Kerry Bubolz, he highlighted that this just makes the Knights more accessible than ever before, especially, for cord cutters who simply couldn't get the RSN before.
Makes sense. Then there's the Utah Jazz, right? They took a slightly different path.
Yeah, the Jazz described their move as sort of an experimental post-cable strategy. They went back to their longtime free TV partner, KJZZ-TV, for broadcasts across Utah and some surrounding states.
Back to free TV. And they're streaming.
Their streaming service is called Jazz Plus, and the pricing is kind of creative. $15.50 a month, $125.50 for the year, or just $5 for a single game.
$5 a game? That's pretty cheap.
It is. And that annual package, it works out to roughly $1.50 per game. Plus, they threw in perks for early subscribers, like free tickets or merchandise discounts, trying to build value.
Right.
Their owner, Ryan Smith, he acknowledged it's more work operationally, definitely. But he emphasized that long-term, owning the platform gives you that freedom to build your brand. You control the message, the experience.
Okay, so that's Suns, Knights, Jazz. What about Washington, D.C.? The Wizards and Capitals?
Monumental sports and entertainment. They own the Wizards, the Capitals, the Mystics, and the WNBA. They took a totally different route. They actually bought out their RSN.
Bought the channel.
Bought the channel, yeah. Rebranded it as Monumental Sports Network. And then, late 2023, they launched their own DTC service for local fans.
How much for that one?
It's a bit pricier, $19.99 a month or $199.99 annually. But it includes the live channel, on-demand stuff, and crucially, they're adding features you just wouldn't get on the old RSN model. Things like alternate camera angles, real-time stats during home games.
Oh, interesting. Interactive stuff.
Exactly. And annual subscribers get perks, too. Merch discounts, ticket pre-sales. It's all designed to deepen that fan engagement beyond just watching the game passively. Their media president, Zach Leonsis, stated the goal clearly: to make our games accessible to fans in market who don't have cable.
Okay, one more example that really stood out from the source is the Dallas Stars in the NHL. Their approach seems radical.
Yeah, the Stars move is maybe the boldest one we've seen so far. They managed to exit their Bally Sports deal early in 2024. Sounds like it was mutual.
And their move.
They launched something called Victory Plus, and it's a completely free, ad-supported streaming network.
Free. Like actually free. No subscription.
No subscription. Every single locally televised Stars game streams for free across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All you need is an email login. No payment needed for the broadcast itself.
How do they make money then?
Well, it's an ad-supported model, and it's co-owned with a tech partner who apparently provided some kind of revenue guarantee. It's definitely unique.
Yeah.
And the Stars CEO, Brad Alberts, he really captured the feeling driving a lot of these changes.
Yeah.
So basically, direct-to-consumer is the future for local sports. Let's control our own destiny and not be tied to the RSN anymore.
Control our own destiny. That seems to be the theme.
It really does. I mean, these different examples, they clearly show this massive shift, right?
Yeah.
Teams are taking back control over how their games reach you, the fan. Many are using that hybrid beam and stream approach, free TV plus an online stream. They're partnering up with broadcasters like Gray and Scripps, tech firms like Kissway and FuelLift. But the consistent theme, it's prioritizing fan access, building for the future, even if it means walking away from that guaranteed RSN money right now.
But teams aren't completely alone in this, right? The leagues are getting involved too, helping to manage this chaos.
Absolutely. The leagues are stepping in, trying to bridge the gap, prevent fans from just being left in the dark when an RSN collapses.
And Major League Baseball seems to be the most active here.
By far, yeah. MLB has been the most proactive. Remember the Padres? When Diamond dropped the mid-season 2023, MLB's own new local media department jumped right in, took over production, distribution.
And critically, like Noah Garden said, they used that moment to eliminate the local blackouts for Padres fans, made the games available on cable and through their own MLB.TV streaming service, but locally.
Exactly. And by the end of 2024, MLB was actually producing the broadcasts for, I think it was 7 different teams where the RSNs had failed. Diamondbacks, Guardians, others.
7 teams. So the league is temporarily just eating the production costs.
Seems like it. They're taking on the costs and offering these games directly to fans via DTC. Commissioner Rob Manfred framed it as a chance to reimagine the distribution model and really widen access.
Okay, what about the NBA and NHL? How are they handling it?
It's been a bit more of a mix, maybe interim fixes, some pilot programs.
Yeah.
You had 15 NBA teams, 12 NHL teams, still with Bali for the 2023-24 season, but only after they renegotiated their deals.
Renegotiated.
Meaning lower rights fees for Diamond, which helped keep Bali afloat for the season. But crucially, those new deals gave the teams full direct-to-consumer rights.
Okay, so they got the streaming rights back.
Right, which allowed the leagues to sort of quietly support teams taking alternative paths. Like the Arizona Coyotes, they pivoted to free TV with Scripps in Arizona and Utah and launched their own stream via Kissway. The Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, they also cut new deals for free local TV with Scripps after leaving Bali.
So the leagues are okay with these free TV deals?
It seems so. The NBA specifically viewed the Jazz and Suns moves as important pilot programs, kind of like, let's see how this works.
And we're also seeing some bridge solutions where teams or leagues actually buy the struggling RSNs themselves.
Yeah, that's happening too. In Pittsburgh, the Penguins and Pirates teamed up, acquired their AT&T Sportsnet channel, rebranded it, added a DTC option. Same thing in Houston, with the Astros and Rockets buying their channel.
So multiple paths forward. Even in one city, like Phoenix, you have the Suns doing free TV plus their own DTC, while the Diamondbacks ended up under MLB's umbrella, at least temporarily.
Exactly. The common thread, though, is avoiding leaving fans completely stranded. It takes a lot of creativity, flexibility, sometimes just temporary patches to keep the games on somewhere.
Okay, so teams are moving away from the RSN middleman, building their own platforms. Let's talk about the opportunity here, but also the challenge in this big shift to direct-to-consumer.
Right. It's definitely both. Cutting out the RSN middleman, that's a huge opportunity.
How so?
Well, the biggest gain is probably building that direct relationship with the fan. For the first time, really, teams get what's called first-party data. They know you, the specific fan watching their game. Even the Stars, requiring just an email login for their free service. They're building a massive database of people interested in their team.
And why is that data so valuable?
Oh, it's gold. Absolute gold for marketing. You can personalize offers for merchandise, target ticket promotions based on where someone lives or how often they watch. You can really understand viewing habits deeply. Think about it. Under the old RSN model, the cable company owned the customer data. Now, the team owns the customer relationship.
That's a fundamental shift. And owning the platform also means they can enhance the viewing experience itself, right? Like you mentioned with Monumental adding camera angles.
Exactly. On a digital platform, it's just easier for teams to experiment. Add features like betting overlays, maybe offer alternate commentary feeds. Imagine choosing your announcer. Add social interaction features. It allows for a much more interactive, customizable experience. And that really appeals to younger, tech-savvy fans who kind of expect more from their digital content these days.
And it meets that cord never generation where they are, right? The young fans who never had cable, who watch everything on phones, tablets, smart TVs.
Precisely. The Vegas Golden Knights saw really strong engagement with their affordable streaming service. It shows fans are willing to pay for convenient digital access if the price is right.
And the Dallas Stars going completely free with their ad-supported stream. That's a bet on just maximizing reach.
Yeah, it's a strategic bet. Maximize reach, maybe convert some casual observers or fans in waiting into actual dedicated followers. And look, a bigger, more engaged audience ultimately makes sponsorship more valuable. It can drive future ticket sales, merch sales, all that stuff.
Okay, those are the opportunities. But the challenges must be pretty significant too. What's the big one?
Money. The financial gap. That's the elephant in the room. Replacing those really hefty annual RSN rights fees, often 8 figures, sometimes more, that's not easy.
How many subscribers would a team need for their DTC service to match that old money?
Well, it depends on the price, obviously. But just as a rough example, say you charge $20 a month. You'd need something like 100,000 paying subscribers just to generate $24 million a year.
100,000? That's a lot for just one local market.
It is. And few, if any, team DTC services are anywhere near that scale yet. The sources are pretty clear. Teams like the Jazz and Suns, they understand they probably won't match their old RSN earnings, at least not initially.
So that puts huge pressure on them to find new revenue streams, right? More creative sponsorships within the stream, maybe more ads than people are used to, bundling the service with other things.
Exactly. Bundling with tickets, merchandise discounts, unique experiences. They have to get creative to make the math work.
What other challenges besides the money?
Well, there's the operational complexity and just ensuring stream quality. Fans today, they expect a smooth, high-definition, TV-quality broadcast. No buffering, no lag, no crashes.
Yeah, nothing kills the mood like a spinning wheel during a key play.
Right. So running a streaming service requires robust tech infrastructure, constant monitoring, customer support. It's basically a whole new business for most sports franchises. That's why they often partner with specialized tech companies like Kissway or ViewLift. It's a huge operational lift.
And teams still face limits from those big league-wide broadcast deals, don't they? Like blackouts.
Yeah, that's a big one. Local territory blackouts haven't completely vanished for most of these team DTC services, like Suns Live or Jazz Plus, ADC. You still generally can't just subscribe from anywhere in the country and watch any team you want.
Because the national TV partners own those out-of-market rights.
Exactly. So DTC doesn't automatically solve the blackout problem for fans outside the local market unless the league itself steps in, like MLB did with the Padres and those other teams. And there's also this potential issue of coordination. You need teams and leagues to figure out pricing and packaging so they aren't just undercutting each other or creating even more confusion for fans trying to figure out where to watch.
So it seems like teams are really weighing this, aren't they? The sort of tangible financial hit of leaving the RSNs versus the maybe less immediate benefits of owning the fan relationship and controlling the experience.
That's exactly the tightrope they're walking. It's fascinating to watch them try to balance giving fans more access and flexibility with the very real need to build a new sustainable business model, basically from scratch.
Okay, so with all this rapid change, all this experimentation, what does this ultimately mean for you, the listener, trying to watch a game tonight or maybe next season?
Yeah, that's the big question hanging over everything, isn't it? Are we heading towards like a confusing, fragmented mess where you need 5 different apps just to follow the teams in your own city? Or is this going to lead to a more flexible, maybe ultimately better ecosystem for fans?
There's definitely a real risk of fragmentation. I mean, if you're a multi-sport fan in one market, suddenly you might need the Suns app. Maybe you get the Diamondbacks through the MLB app. Maybe the Coyotes, if they were still there, had their own app.
Right. Whereas the RSN, for all its flaws, used to carry maybe all 3 of those teams on one channel.
Exactly. So too many apps, too many logins, maybe different price points. That could absolutely frustrate fans, especially, older viewers who are just used to flipping channels.
For sure. And industry sources mention that concern. There's a risk fans might just tune out if finding the game becomes too much of a hassle. Leagues know this. There's speculation, for instance, about a more unified NBA streaming service down the line, but nothing concrete yet.
But on the flip side, getting rid of that RSN straitjacket, as you called it, it does create this huge flexibility, right? An opportunity.
Absolutely. Teams are no longer locked into one single and clearly failing business model. A whole new ecosystem is forming, and it could end up being more resilient, more innovative in the long run.
So maybe there won't be one single model that dominates.
Probably not. We might see a mix. Maybe regional streaming hubs emerge. Maybe the free TD Plus subscription app model becomes common. Or maybe the big tech companies, your Apple, Amazon, YouTube, step in and start aggregating these local streams somehow. The upcoming league media rights negotiations, like the NBA's big one coming up in 2025, those are expected to include way more options for DTC and these kinds of platform partnerships.
So the key word here seems to be adaptability for everyone involved, teams, leagues, fans.
I think so. Adaptability. The winners in this new landscape will likely be those who embrace flexibility, who really invest in fan-centric features on their platforms, and who figure out smart pricing. Teams cling to the old ways. They could really struggle.
It really goes back to that quote from the Star's CEO, Brad Alberts. Enough's enough. Let's get out of this. Let's control our own destiny. That feeling seems to be spreading.
It really does. It's a powerful sentiment right now.
But we should acknowledge there will be bumps in the road, right? This transition involves some pain, some uncertainty. Experiments might fail.
Definitely. And some fans, particularly older ones, maybe less comfortable with streaming, might feel left behind initially. It's interesting that the Stars are apparently even considering putting some games back on traditional local TV for non-streamers, sort of an olive branch.
Right. But overall, based on these sources, the long-term vision that's emerging, it really seems to be about teams having more direct control, owning that fan relationship, owning their brand, and hopefully fans ultimately getting more options, more ways to watch than ever before.
It's definitely a messy process right now, no doubt about it, but it's fundamentally reshaping the local sports media landscape.
So wrapping this up, the RSN reckoning has clearly dramatically shaken things up. But maybe it's forcing some necessary innovation.
I think that's a fair way to put it. There's certainly short-term confusion, maybe some pain, definitely a learning curve for everyone. But the overall direction, the trajectory, it does point towards teams having more control and fans potentially having more flexible ways to watch their teams.
Exactly. You know, you might be watching on an app or maybe a streaming stick plugged into your TV instead of just flipping channels on cable. But the potential for a more interactive experience, a more personalized one, maybe even more accessible. That's real. The game has definitely changed.
Yeah. No, going back to the old rules now.
This deep dive into the sources really shows us the sports world is just rapidly rewriting its playbook for how local games get delivered to you, the fan.
It really is. And maybe it raises kind of a thought-provoking question to leave with. Given this rapid shift, with teams now owning their own distribution platforms, focusing so much on that direct fan connection, enhancing the digital experience, what truly innovative viewing feature or platform do you think teams might unlock next? What's the next big thing now that they fully own their streaming future?
That's a good one. Something to ponder, maybe, as you catch your next game, wherever you happen to find it.
Skyrim.ai was founded by veterans of the spatial media industry and is committed to advancing the field of immersive sports experiences and storytelling to fans everywhere.